Hey guys, Nick here with Nightlife Kennel. So today we're going to be talking about the three main thermals that are being used by raccoon hunters today. These three products right here are all made by the AGM company, and from what I've been seeing, all the coon hunters out there seem to be leaning towards one of these three products. So we're going to go through them today and give you a full extensive review, so that way you'll be better informed to make a purchase if you're looking to get into the thermals for your coon hunt as well. Alright, now before we get into this review, I want to give a big shout out to Sandra down at Kelley. Without her, none of this would have been possible. Sandra was gracious enough to send me all three of these units and trust me with them for a full month to give you guys an extensive review on these right here. So at the end of this video, if you guys are in the market for one of these, by all means go down to kelleysupply.com, and I'm going to put a link to her website in the description of this video. You can go down there and find all these on her website, and I'm going to have all the prices for them here at the end of the video, and let's get started on this. Okay, so I want to talk about what these three units all have in common before we actually talk about how each one of them are a little bit different. Every single one of them basically have 4 palettes that you look through, and that's basically modes. Whenever you're looking through them, you can go through 4 different modes, and it's basically how it detects the heat. The first palette you'll see is fusion. That's where you see a lot of orange, red, maybe a little bit of purple. And then your next palette you'll see is what they call white hot. It basically takes everything that's cold, turns it either gray or black, and anything that has any heat shows up as a bright white. Now your next one is what they call black hot. It's basically the polar opposite of white. Everything that is cold shows up as white, and anything that is hot shows up as dark black. And then your lastly is what they call red. It basically turns the entire image into a black and white image, and anything that has a significant heat signature, like your dog or like a coon, engine on a truck, a deer, or so forth, actually is highlighted in red. Another thing that all three of these have in common is they all have a high sensitivity heat detector. They all have a hotspot marking, which is when you're looking through them, sometimes you can turn on the little hotspot marker, and what it'll do is it actually puts up a little green cross, and it picks little hot spots and kind of helps you determine if that's something you want to look at. Maybe that's the coon there. It also has video recording and Snapchat capturing, and the way it does that is they all have a Wi-Fi module inside that can link to your phone through an app, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. And basically you can video record, you can take pictures and save it to your phone, show it to your buddies, put it up on Facebook, and that's exactly how I got these images on this video right here. And they all have a built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery. So that's how they're all the same. Now we're going to break down and show you individually what the differences are, so you can better determine which one fits you best. Now, a little disclaimer before we start talking about these as well is the images you're going to see in this video are images that I have taken with these thermals and transitioned to the app on my phone, and I was able to upload it to my computer and then to YouTube. During that process, there is a resolution loss. So the images you see here are not going to be as good as what they would be if you was actually looking through these at a coon or your dog. So just want to put that out there. And also, every single one of these units have a very particular way that you need to focus them to bring in the detail of what you're looking at. So if you're using this unit in the field and it don't seem quite right, you may need to play with the focus just a little bit. And also it comes down to your personal vision as well. I have really good vision, so all these seem to be good with me. I let my dad look at it. His vision is a little bit worse than mine, and they all seemed a little blurry to him, but we were able to fine tune that, and I'll show you how in just a little bit and get him to where he could really see the images pretty clear itself. Okay, so we're going to give you a little bit closer look. We still have the 15, the 19, and the 25. I'm going to set the 25 aside for a second. I want to show you guys right here, as you can tell, that the 15 and the 19 are virtually the exact same size, and they virtually weigh the exact same. I'll talk about the weight here in a second. Now, when you compare that to the 25 is much longer, much bigger around, and it's substantially heavier. It's almost twice as heavy. So we're going to go ahead and get to the different specs of each of these, but I wanted to clarify that right there. Okay, so starting out with the 25, if you look right up here on top, you have a cover to cover the lens that you can take off right there. Right here is the part where you look through. And then right here on top, you have a dial. You can access it from the top or the bottom. That is your focus ring. What you're going to want to do with any of these units, whether it be this one, the 15 or the 19, to turn this on, you want to press the on button right here with the cover on. When you do that, there's going to be a screen pop up that says AGM. While you're looking at that screen, you want to take your focal ring and turn it right here on the back until that focuses that in for you. Now that's going to have your unit pretty much in focus for you. Then you can go ahead and take your pop cover off and go ahead and start using your unit. Now if you look on every single one of these units, you're going to have a mode button, you're going to have a camera capture, which basically takes a picture for the built-in memory. You're also going to have, this is basically a menu button that can go through all the different menus. That's how you hook up your Wi-Fi and things. And then you also have a zoom button. And we're going to talk about the different levels of zoom on this one right here. Now, to go through the 25, your resolution on this unit is 384 by 288. Your display, when you look at it, resolution is 1024 by 768. The AGM25 has 5 hours of runtime with the Wi-Fi turned off. On the zoom rating, you have a 1 power and a 2 power. You have a limited 3-year warranty. It has a 16 gigabyte built-in memory, so that's where it's going to store your images that you capture with this button right here. The weight of this thing comes in at 460 grams, which is 1.01 pounds. So this right here is an entire pound. So if you're like me, ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain. When you're hunting, the more you're toting, the more you're hurting. This right here is a big, bulky, heavy unit. Like I said before, it's got the 4 different image palette: fusion, red hot, white hot, and black hot. And now the field of view on this one is 14.8 degrees wide and 11.9 degrees high. Now what that matters is when you're looking through one of these units and you're standing at the tree, your field of view is how wide you're going to be able to see. So if you have a very narrow field of view, you will have to back up far from the tree to see more of the tree. If you have a wide field of view, you can get closer to the tree, and that benefits you if you're, say, under a thick canopy and you cannot get back far enough to see the tree. You want a wider field of view. Now this unit right here on Sandra's website retails for $17.95 plus shipping. I will go ahead and tell you guys that the 25 has currently, at the time of this recording, been discontinued. Sandra did tell me that she has many of these units left, so if you're really interested in one of these, you can go over to her website and order one and get it sent out to you before she runs out. If you take too long though, guys, you're going to have to be buying these used from somebody because all the dealers out there are going to run out of them. But this is a good solid unit. It's been around for a pretty good while. A lot of guys are using it. A lot of guys love it. I don't really have any complaints on this except for the resolution is a little low. It actually has the worst resolution of all 3 of these, and it is very bulky and very heavy. But it's a good solid unit, and you can definitely find coons with it if this is what you want to go with. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Taipan 19. There's a couple of advantages that this has over the 25, great advantages, but it has one disadvantage over the 15 that we'll get to in a minute. Now, first off, you'll notice that it has the focal ring right here instead of a twist one like the 25 had. You will power this on with the power button, look through this with the cap on, and find your focus. Once the focus is on, you can go ahead and take your cap off and start looking. But if you'll see right here, there's also a twist ring right here. The 19 to me is a little bit more suited for something long range, and that's where this focus ring right here comes in. If you're looking at something beyond 100 yards, you can really fine tune the focus at your image 100 to 200, possibly even 300 yards out. The 25 and the 15, you can't do that. You only have one focus ring. So the 19 to me is kind of more suited for that. You also have your power button right here. You have your capture where you can record your videos or your photos to your phone. You have your mode. Of course, you got your 4 palettes, same as the rest of them. Fusion, black hot, white hot, and red hot. And then you have zoom. Now with this right here, you have a 1, 2, 4, and 8 power zoom. The resolution on the 19 is the same thing as the 25. It's 384 by 288, but your display resolution jumps up quite a bit. The 25 had a resolution of 1024 by 768. This is 1280 by 960. So the image you see is a lot greater. Now the AGM25 had a 5-hour runtime with the Wi-Fi off. The 19 has a 7.5-hour runtime with the Wi-Fi off. Like I said, you also got 1, 2, 4, and 8 power zoom. Of course, you got the limited 3-year warranty. It's got 8 gigs of internal memory. Now, the AGM25 weighed in right at a pound. This one weighs at 0.68 of a pound. So this is almost half as light as the 25. Now, your field of view with this one, if you remember the 25 had a field of view of 14.8 by 11.19. This one has a field of view of 11.8 by 10.4. What that means is you actually have a narrower field of view with this than you do the 25. So if you are up underneath the tree real tight and you can't back up to get a good look at it, you're going to be looking at a tighter spot on the tree. You will have to back up from a distance to look at a wider spot on the tree. So the disadvantage the 19 has, if you're in thick cover and you're like immediately up underneath the tree looking up, you're going to have to really shine this around a lot to look the entire tree over, versus the 25, you can actually see a little bit more of the tree. But if you're wanting to use this for multi-purpose, coon hunting, patrolling your property, looking for deer, so on and so forth, predator hunting, anything at long range, this is a really good unit to do both. You can shine a tree with it, but you can also see things at a long range. So if you think you want to do more than just coon hunting, this is a unit I highly recommend for that. Now what we have is the Taipan 15. In my personal opinion, this is a creme de la creme for coon hunters. And I'm going to go ahead and explain why. Now if you notice, this is basically the exact same size and same weight as the 19. So it's going to be half as light as the 25. Your resolution on this is the same. It's 384 by 288, same as the 19 and the 25. Your display is the same as your 19, just 1280 by 960. So when you look through the lens, you're going to see a lot better image than the 25. It has the same runtime as the 19, 7.5 hours without the Wi-Fi turned on. It has the same zoom, 1 power, 2 power, 4, and 8 power as the 19 does. It's got the same 3-year limited warranty as all 3 units. It's got an 8 gig internal memory. The weight of it is 0.64 and the 19 is 0.68, so it's slightly lighter weight. But if you notice up here, it doesn't have that focal ring for long range. And I'll go ahead and get into that here in just a minute. But you also have the mode button right here that goes through the same 4 palettes: Fusion, Red Hot, White Hot, and Black Hot. Where the 15 really shines for the coon hunter, in my opinion, is the field of view. You have a 17.5 degree field of view horizontally and a 13.1 degree view vertically. And what's that mean for the coon hunter? That means this is a lot wider when you're looking at the tree. You can literally be right up underneath the tree looking up, and you're going to see almost 20% more of that tree than you would be if you were looking through the 19. And we all know it, guys. There's so many times that you can only find one pocket to shine a tree, and that same pocket is what you're going to have to look through the thermal at, and sometimes it is directly underneath the tree looking straight up. And the 15 is really going to shine for that. Now, if you're trying to look at something that's out there in 200 or 300 yards, you can still focus this in and it looks pretty good, enough to determine whether you're looking at a deer or a bear or a cow or whatever. But the detail at a long range will not be quite as good with this one as it is the 19. Now, at the time of recording this, on Sandra's website, this retails for $12.95. Of course, it's got the same warranty, all the same features, it's lightweight. In my opinion, this is what a coon hunter is looking for. So what are my final thoughts on these thermals? I'll tell you, after a month of putting them through use, I've looked at 100 or 200 deer, I looked at cattle, I've looked at the dog here in the house. These all three of them do a fantastic job. I'm really impressed with the high detail that you can get out of these three. But now when it boils down to the coon hunter, in my opinion, there's one clear choice. If you look at the 25, it's just way too bulky for me. It's a lot bigger than the rest. It weighs a lot less. Plus, they're discontinuing it. If you want to purchase one, you can go over to Sandra's website. She's got a few left and go ahead and pick you one up. If you're looking at something to do a little more long range, if you're looking to coon hunt and predator hunt, patrol your property, the 19 is definitely worth the extra $200 or $300. I love this unit. It's nice, small, and lightweight. It can do a little bit more as far as its distance. But clear choice winner, the Taipan 15. If you're only wanting a coon hunt, you're a little bit tighter budget, pick up this right here. You're going to wider field of view. You're still going to get the same features of all three of these, and you're going to save some money, and it's going to be a lot easier on you trying to find a coon in the tree. If you guys are in the market for a new thermal and you got any value out of this video, do me a favor. Go visit Sandra over at Kelley'sKlightSupply.com. I'm going to put a link to her website in the description and pick up your thermal from Sandra. She's got the best prices around. She's got real quick shipping and turnaround. She always keeps a lot in stock. And not only that, you're buying coon hunting supplies from a coon hunter who knows all about them. And she was gracious enough to send these to me and let me create this video for you guys to be more informed. So also guys, hit that like button on this video. Share this video with anybody you know that's coon hunting who might be in the market so they can get the information you got as well. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our channel. We're always putting out new coon hunts, new coon gear reviews, so on and so forth. We love you. We appreciate you. Until next video, y'all tree one for me.